Kent.
Betty?
Long time no see.
What are you doing here?
Work's been kind of slow since cartoons went to color.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So there's been this trend for a while of taking classic cartoon characters that have entered the public domain and turning them into horror movie characters. Basically, a lot of popular characters from the early 20th century are now rolling into the public domain, which I actually think is really exciting because these are great characters and it would be really cool to see more of them. But the thing is, it's really common for basically as soon as they come into the public domain, they get turned into a horror movie monster. In my opinion, these movies are pretty uninspired. I've talked about this before, where they're all just pretty basic slashers of having this beloved icon just killing a bunch of hapless people. And now it's Betty Boop's turn. We all saw this coming, but I would really rather see more creativity with these characters. Like Popeye was actually going to get an animated movie from Genndy Tartakovsky, but the company canceled it in favor of the Emoji Movie. Boy, was that a huge mistake. Instead, we got 2 Popeye slashers. Great. But there's so much potential with these characters, and I can only hope that we'll get more creative storytelling later down the line. But really quick, before I continue, I wanted to talk about our new comic book. It's officially available on Amazon. It's kind of like Conan the Barbarian meets Samurai Jack. It's about a man who lives in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and he travels back in time to stop the apocalypse from happening. When he goes back in time, he ends up in a world that's very technologically advanced, and he doesn't quite fit in, but he has to gather allies, find answers, and stop this whole thing from happening in the first place. So if you like science fiction, adventure, mystery, and intrigue, you should definitely check it out. Thanks for hearing me out, and back to the video now. So here's an article talking about the upcoming Betty Boop one, and here's some promo picture with some actress just wearing a Betty Boop mask and holding guts, because she's gonna be an evil serial killer. Like, we haven't seen that a million times before. So this article starts out with Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, Bambi, Popeye, Mickey, and Minnie Mouse. The public domain wave shows no signs of stepping down, with Betty Boop, the latest beloved cartoon character to be put through the horror ringer with Boop. Very creative title there. From director Jared Cohn and writer Josh Ridgway, Boop is headed to the American film market via VMI Worldwide, according to Deadline, who broke the news earlier today. Starring Katisha Shaw, Spencer Breslin, Eva Hamilton, Carlton Tran, and Devani Pin as the titular Boop. I don't think I recognize any of those names, but maybe they're big in horror or something. The film follows a team of horror podcast investigators who break into an abandoned theater to discover the hauntings of the starlet once known as Boop. A simple investigation turns into a horrific bloodbath as they fight to escape the murderous Boop as she is out for revenge. So yeah, just a bunch of hapless dorks who stumble onto a serial killer who happens to be an iconic cartoon character. Also, revenge for what? And why would she be taking out revenge on these random people? Who knows, maybe they'll talk about that in the film. But wouldn't it be so much cooler to have like Betty Boop be investigating murders, or having Popeye fighting sea monsters or eldritch horrors or punching out serial killers? Why did the cartoon characters have to be the villains? Also, I'm pretty sure that Popeye premiered in a Betty Boop cartoon, so it'd be cool to have them team up together. But instead we get this. And the thing is, these movies are very cheap to produce, but they make a lot of money. You know, the people who do like these slasher movies are going to see them and are going to support them, and I'm not knocking them for that. Like what you like. It's just that I think that there's so much more you could do with these characters. It'd be funny if there was like a movie about these characters are mad that their names are being dragged through the mud or something. But let's continue. Following her first appearance in Dave Fleischer's Dizzy Dishes in 1930, Miss Boop, a flapper with a heart of gold, has become a bona fide cultural icon, appearing in over 90 cartoons and countless merch collaborations. However, Boop will tell a darker story. Jessica Russo, COO of VMI, had the following to say about Boop's less than glamorous origins. So I guess they're rewriting her backstory or something. Getting your classic cartoon told as a horror film is still mind-blowing. Not really, it's to be expected at this point. But what sets Boop apart from the other horror IPs is her motivation. Boop's dark history is extremely grim, but this telling allows her to get her power back. A true testament to feminism led by a predominantly female team. Is any of this actually based in the history of the character though? Because this just sounds like they're trying to force politics into something that's not that deep. It's just another run-of-the-mill cartoon character is a serial killer. I mean, this is the same thing they did with Pooh Bear, where they had him be like abandoned and feel discarded, and that's why he's going around killing random people. And now I guess they're trying to force some kind of political message here, which is sad. I think that it would be a lot more powerful to just have her be what she already was, having her be an actress who also has adventures. I think maybe they're just trying to pat themselves on the back, but it's not as deep as they think it is. Anyway, the producer went on to say, "When I learned the cartoon was entering the public domain, I knew there was something special waiting to happen. This team, brimming with extraordinary talent both in front of and behind the camera, absolutely blew me away. I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. Get ready for a wildly violent, ridiculously fun ride, and trust me, this is only the beginning." So they're going to make a bunch of sequels because this is horror and that's what you do. I mean, I think there is a lot that you can say with horror, and like they've had feminist messaging before, like with the Stepford Housewives and stuff. And there's a lot of really great horror movies that do speak on society and, you know, taboos and stuff like that. But I think that these are such great characters with such a rich history, and they really deserve better than this. No offense if you like slasher movies, it's just my opinion. Anyway, the article finishes off with, "Will Boop nab the Best Public Domain Resurrection nomination at next year's Fangoria Chainsaw Awards? Or even an Oscar? I highly doubt that. Only time will tell. In the words of the late great Scott Wampler, the public domain horror movies will continue until morale improves. As far as I'm concerned, as long as these movies exist, morale will not improve, at least on my end. Stay tuned for updates as they boop oop a doop in."
But I still got it, Eddie. Boop, boop, be doop.
Yeah, you still got it.
Are they gonna have her say that while she's decapitating people and pulling their guts out? Yeah, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. We all knew this was coming and it's just as we expected. At least it doesn't look like she's a prostitute, so that's nice. But personally, my morale will improve when we actually get some deeper storytelling than just, this beloved cartoon character is a slasher villain now. I want to see Popeye punching monsters and Betty Boop investigating crimes while also being fabulous. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Are you looking forward to this movie? Are you also tired of these run-of-the-mill slashers? Again, no offense if you like slashers. I would just rather see these fun animated characters punching out people like Michael Myers instead of being Michael Myers. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. And again, if you have the means, check out my comic. So bye for now. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our members: Tyrant Carnivore, Shiny Orc Boy, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Verdant Range, JVR, Equestron, Norman Sweet Cream, Way Beyond Coincidence, Hunter Rose, 80s Nostalgia Guy, Felix Spam, J Draws, Meowsers, Sky, Philip, Isaac Martinez, Garcia XV Legend, Tobias Weller, Bandito Bane, Mac B909, Takari the Professor, Omni Fair, J Calvary, Strider Exile, Phil C, Killer Bomb, Slawa Saporiguez, Entwine Boot 301, Frankie Camarillo, Crimson Phantom, Jin the Goblin, Daunter, G-Rock, Lucas Geist, Papa Hud 69, The Gengar King, and Snoopy Von Snoops. Thank you all so much for the support, and if you would like to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. We also have Buy Me Coffee if you want to support us that way. And if you enjoyed the video, you can leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and that part's free. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.